BestBall show. It is your boy here, Dan, at the BestBall coming at you with another live BestBall 30-second draft. We're looking forward to that. But before I get started, I just want to make a quick announcement. Everyone, if you are seeing this live, head over to our free Discord. It's going for two at our Discord there. And you can get involved in our annual Scott Fishbowl strategy event, which takes off at 9 p.m. tonight. You can find Jeff Lambert over on Twitter on our Discord, Jeff Lambert at Jeff Lambert77 for more details, and he'll point you in the right direction. But we have a load of guest speakers coming in to talk strategy for the Scott Fishbowl event that happens every year. Fantastic charity event where we're donating money for fun, buy the merch, all that sort of stuff. To cap that off, I am going to jump into a live draft. We're going to get in the puppy, $5 as it would be, and we are drafting from. Let's have a look. Normally I draft from my phone as I talk and as we go. Where are we at? I am, playing with the screen. You want to maximize that. Nope. There we go. And we are drafting. I'm pretty sure I've got the last pick again. That's the sort of thing that happens to me every freaking time. I'm picking from pick 10, which is fantastic. The last time that we did this, we went with, it was a Father's Day. It was last week. We did a Father's Day draft, and we really went in on the drafting as many old boys as we could because I got a kick out of it. I thought it'd be pretty cool to do a draft where we just drafted old guys because it was Father's Day. Why not? Something different. But from this spot, I would be very reluctant not to go AJ Brown or Breece Hall, depending on who would be drafting here. There goes Breece Hall. I'm okay to give a miss on others. You know what? I tend to go AJ Brown a fair bit. Let's go Garrett Wilson. Let's do something weird. I haven't got a whole bunch of Garrett Wilson this year. I swear to God, Jamie, it's not something that I'm trying to do. Thank you for the invite. I promise you, I am just finding a spare 45 minutes of my day and I'm just going live and drafting. That's it. Whatever I can find, that's what I'm doing. I have no gauge on this. I found I had a spare bit of time up my sleeve and that was it. But I am on the clock next. We've gone Garrett Wilson. From this point here, I would like to think that I'm going to go, well, there goes Drake London. And there's a lot of question marks about Taylor and Saquon at this point. I think I'm going to skip them. With the issues that Brandon Ayuk had this week, I'm going to get in on Deebo Samuel there as well. So we've gone Garrett Wilson in at Deebo Samuel, as it would be. But as I was saying before, everyone should head over to our Discord. It is free. It's one of the better places that you can go. You get first notice on when shows drop, articles drop, all that sort of stuff. And you can tag anyone from going for two in there. You can ask them for advice, and it's a fantastic place to be and to go. I can't recommend it enough. Jeff has done a very good job building that up, and I could I can endorse that with a plum, really. Also, we want to mention this obviously is Underdog. As always, head over to underdogfantasy.com, promo code GF2 for 100% matching deposit up to $100 on your initial deposit. And then you can jump in all these puppies, $5 outlay. You can get in, 40 different puppies if you wanted to. That's half a max ender. There you go. Happy days. As it would be. So that's what we're looking at in that regard. Something's going on in the Discord now. Someone's having a bit of a heart attack in there. Fantastic. People are trying to find spaces, and that's where it's at. But yes, head over to Underdog as well. As always, YouTube, hit the alert button, hit the subscribes, and go from there. A whole bunch of stuff has not happened this week. It's been a very quiet week in terms of fantasy football or football-related news. I don't remember a whole bunch going on. Outside of, I think on Monday, Darren Waller retired. And that might have been Monday. That could have been 3 weeks ago. I don't remember. Darren Waller retiring really didn't feel like a whole bunch of news going on. But, there ain't. What do I do here? Maybe I should just drop the link in. Nah, screw it. No one wants to jump in here. That's all good. It's a Sunday afternoon. People have things to do. We've got the American men's soccer team coming on. Team USA. Oh, my God. You guys still call yourselves a team. Team USA. Every team is a team. It's just so dumb. Whatever. Team USA. Oh, my God. USMNT. Just call The soccer team, that's it. Should be all right. Decent game against Bolivia. That's what we're at today. This is where we're at. The Euros won earlier. Germany gets done by Switzerland. Or they drew, I think. One last-minute equaliser. Unbelievable. And you got Copa America coming in. I'm actually looking forward to the Uruguay game. I think they're a bit of fun. Come on, Uruguay. Bit of fun. As it were, how do I get this going in here? Maybe I'll drop the link in. How do I do that? Invite guests. Copy link. Let's do that. I don't think this is going to show up. I really don't know how this works very well. I'm not a big online guy. Where are we? Here. Let's add that in. Pardon me for the blank space, but this seems to be an incredibly slow draft. Incredibly slow. I can't believe that. The problem is I'm going to add this in here, and I'm not going to know how to let anyone in. That's the irony of this. So let's have a look. Let's open up Underdog, as it were. Let's have a look at this draft board. That's normally where we go. CD Lamb going first overall, ahead of McCaffrey. That probably gave the guy at peak number 2 a little bit of funny feeling in his nutsack there. But outside of that, Nakua jumping before the 2 running backs off the board. Outside of that, Bijan and Hall. So Nakua's jumped them. Other surprises that have been going on, Marvin Harrison's crept a hell of a way up as well. I really don't like seeing Chris Olave that close. He's only there by proxy. Jalen Waddle's come up about 2 rounds because he's getting some hype midweek. I have seen a lot of, where is he? Stephon Diggs falling into the mid-late 3rd round, which is interesting. So Nico Collins is getting the online hype. He's going in that mid-second. And Stephon Diggs is falling all the way back to that 3rd round. Now, we're going a bit of a 0 RB strategy, but if Diggs were to fall to us here, we are going to get on that pretty aggressively, I would think. That being said, Diggs is there, Pittman's there, and I can't imagine passing on Diggs at this point. Travis Kelce into the 3rd round, that's a big jump as well. People are starting to get spooked by the tight ends this year. Again, I've mentioned this enough times. I am staying as far the fuck away from Michael Pittman as I can. Having a look at the people here, I'm going to head over to Amari Cooper, go Browns. And if we can get one of these running backs on the turn back there, maybe Kirk, I will do that very aggressively as well. But yeah, to see Diggs falling back that far to me, I still have him. I think he's their number 1 receiver, and I don't think it's particularly close. Nico Collins had a very good year last year. Stephon Diggs has been having very good years for a lot of years, and I don't see how he doesn't come in and be their number 1 receiver in that row. Tank Dell going 3 picks later is just asinine. What are we doing here? Tank Dell going 2 picks after. It's okay. Sam Laporta's going into the 4th round. That's nice, and Kelsey's still there too. So I would suggest here that this is where all these tight ends are falling, and there's Kincaid and Andrews as such. Let's grab one of these tight ends here. Kincaid and Andrews. I'm going to go Mark Andrews. I don't think that should be much of a look at that. There's a run there. Next 3 picks of tight ends: Laporta, Kelsey, Andrews. I don't think that should be much of a shock. Everyone seems to be talking about tight ends this week. I've been talking about them for 5 months now. It's just a shocker, really. People are very, very worried that the back end isn't very talented. Okay, I understand that. People are worried about the guys at top not being cluey enough, and the guys in the middle could be anything. So it's a very big mix to see tight ends go in that realm. I've taken one now because I'm not sure one's going to fall. You know, I'm probably left with a Kittle or whatever in the 5th round, which I can live without. Maybe an Ingram in the 6th or 7th. That's where he's going now. Everyone's starting to flood in and blow the ADP up. But Mark Andrews in the 4th round, to me, I don't think that's much of a shock. And I think he should be going ahead of Laporta anyway, or McBride or whatever. I don't think that's really much of a problem to me. And you could look at some of the names that have fallen over the past month. Neighbours has floated in and out of that 2nd round into the 3rd. Kyron Williams was a late 1st into the 3rd. Zay Flowers, for some reason, is going in the 3rd round ahead of Mark Andrews. I don't know why. Diggs has now fallen into the late 3rd. He's getting chased down by Tank Dell. Make it make sense. And then here we are in the 4th round. George Pickens is this year's A.J. Brown. You look at like his stats, his first 2 years, I'm pretty sure he had like 84 targets as a rookie. A.J. Brown had the second. A.J. Brown's second year, he matched the same thing. Now he gets Arthur Smith. It's just a bit too kooky for me. So George Pickens going to have that 3rd year A.J. Brown year. It could be a decent pick, but again, you're looking at a guy who doesn't get more than, 100 targets, 110 targets over there. So what's up, Kyle? Go Ticats. Yeah, I see Twitter every now. Go Ticats. There we go. And that's where we're at. So for the love of God, I just, seeing Pickens go in the 4th round, that's incredibly risky to me. And the build there to start with, how's he gone so far? He's gone Brandon Ayuk, who could be anywhere, into Cooper Kupp, which could be anything, into Pickens. That's a very volatile room. I've got another room in here where he's gone 3 running backs, Taylor, Henry, Jacobs. I wouldn't even touch another running back the rest of the draft. But, it is what it is. Nothing else. This 4th round's been probably a bigger weird one that I've seen in a while. You're looking at three tight ends and three quarterbacks. You want Allen, Hurts. Seeing Allen fall back and Hurts fall back in the late 4th, that's interesting too. So, yeah, it's fine. Mark Andrews has standalone value. I don't feel like I really need to go out and chase the stack with Lamar Jackson in that regard. And again, seeing Zay Flowers go before him just makes zero sense to me. So I can get behind that. But then again, look, Hollywood Brown going in the mid 4th as well. That's another weird one. And if anyone saw my rant last week about Terry McLaurin, apologies, but Jesus fucking Christ, 132 targets to finish as a wide receiver, 32. Get the fuck out of here. No, get him away from the 5th round. He should be going in the 10th round away from everyone else. I don't give a shit who his fucking quarterback is. Stay away from him. He's literally the definition of mid, and we're going to chase this guy in the 5th round. That is ridiculous. Dear God, someone stop us. Either way. So we're going to be on the clock very, very shortly. I've just dropped my phone, which is where I'm drafting. That's not very good either. Thank you for the sound effects for those who are playing along in the car during the week. Either way. Big game tonight. Yeah, I mean, there's many big games tonight, Kyle. I'm looking at Uruguay versus Panama. That's an interesting one. America, Bolivia. And the Ticats are playing. I don't know who they're playing, but the Ticats are playing, and it's a big game tonight. That's what we got. No, that's the thing, Jamie. He doesn't. That's the thing. If you're going to punch 130 targets and be the funnel for everything that's going through there, and you struggle to hit 1,000 yards, I don't care what offense, he is not going to change his role. And that's the thing. Terry McLaurin is going to punch 130 targets, and he's going to go for maybe 1,000 yards and maybe 5 touchdowns, and he's going to get you that wide receiver 25 to 32 again. And you're going to take him in the 5th round? Get out of here. Not a chance. Zero chance with that. I'm staying right the hell away from that. 5th round, we're on the clock. We're going to go Xavier Worthy just for a bit of fun. I'd like to see what you said here, and I really have to get better at not pressing buttons before reading them. I get myself into trouble. I did the math, and if Kyron only gets 50 to 60% of snaps, it should make him a 4th round pick. Yeah, 12.5 points per game, half out. That could be anything. You got to expect him to come down. I mean, again, where he's going, the premise of him being the only guy in the Rams, I'll lean towards because they've shown the tendency. So I can get behind that. But for him to continue what he was doing, probably not. And, if you told me that he was an early 4th round, late 3rd, I could get behind it. I don't think he's going to do anything different to what's that guy's name? Josh Jacobs in that regard. And you could see they're kind of in very similar situations. Obviously, they brought in Marshall Lloyd in Green Bay. Jacobs will be the guy. Maybe they'll work Lloyd in. It feels kind of the same. And that's probably why they're both going in, the similar round, give or take. So I understand and appreciate that. Again, the 1st round, it probably seemed a little bit rich, but, if we're drafting in March and all that sort of stuff, it seems probably a little ridiculous. We're gonna start off. Let's grab Ramondre Stevenson. Let's grab our first running back there in the 6th round. So I understand that, Jamie. Yeah, seeing him go there, I get it. 12.5 points. And, he's going to have those games maybe where he goes up to 16, 17, 18. He's going to have those games where he goes 8 and 9. And it could be anywhere in between. But, I still don't believe Corum's going to dent him that much. I really want to see what they do with Cooper Kupp. I think that's the interesting thing for the Rams for me this year. No, Carl. Will the quality tax be better in Washington? No, they're not. It's not like he hasn't played with mobile quarterbacks in like Heineke and what's the guy, Sam Howell? Like, I don't think the quality's better. What are they going to manufacture? What's Kingsbury going to manufacture differently? That's the thing. It's the same thing you saw with Kyler Murray, and those targets weren't exactly beautiful either, right? So I don't think it's going to be one of those things where we're talking about, oh, he's going to get better targets. I just don't see it. And how much more better can you get for 130? What's he going to get, like 140 and 15 or better? I just don't see it changing for them at all. And that's the scary thing. And I don't like that passing offense at all. And that's the scary thing. And it's seen go in the fourth round. Like, why? I'll go get, if I want to get a receiver that has a mid quarterback that's going to get 130 targets, I'll go get Jacoby Myers in the 9th, 10th round. I'll go get Cortland Sutton. I'll go get those guys. At this point, he's going up at this point in the 4th round, and you're expecting him to do something that he hasn't done differently in years. It just kind of seems like false practice at this point in regards to McLaurin. I just don't see it. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. McLaurin was getting 7.5 targets a game. Yes, wide receiver 32. Very good. 8th and deep targets. Yep. And he did nothing with it. All of that's great, and he does nothing with it. Year after year, he gets nowhere. I have no love for Terry McLaurin. None. If so, how much impact will that have? None. I just don't see it. He needs so much help for that to be a thing. And we can say, oh, they've got Eckler. Yeah, great. They've got Dotson maybe having another year. Great. I don't see how he does anything differently. He's going to do the same thing he does every year. He's going to promise so much and give you the same mid results. I have no problem with him getting volume. None. The volume is great. Perfect. And the opportunity is fantastic. Great. He does nothing with it year after year, and you've got better players coming in, helping him out. Like, what, Austin Eckler's not going to walk into like 60, 70 targets, 80 targets? That's not going to happen. Dotson's not going to take a step forward. They're not going to have that shitty, like, rotation of tight ends that Cliff Kingsbury did with Ertz and McBride. That's not going to take place. Like, all of that is weighing in that, and now you're throwing in a rookie quarterback who could be anything. This is what we're not going to do. We're not going to have any faith in Jaden Daniels against the Giants pass rush, and we can laugh about the Giants. What about the Eagles or the Cowboys? So there's 6 games already that you have to hope he's better than that. To get away from that, just to hit McLaurin for what he's 7 targets for 50. That's what he does. 7 targets. What did he do? 5 targets for like 50 yards. That's what we're doing, right? 5 for 50. It's fantastic. 5 for 50. That's what we're chasing down. We want all that 5 for 50. I can't ask for much more than that. We want Terry McLaurin's 5 for 42. And he's going to get us so far and get us so little. And that's a 4th round pick. And what's it's incredibly apropos, the next pick I think was what? Jaden Reed? Like, we should be staying, or the pick before him, Jaden Reed? Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Talk about 2 guys that are going back to back in rounds that they shouldn't be going, that we shouldn't be drafting them in at all. It's madness. Some of the picks that you look at and you go, man, Jaden Reed in the 5th round, and he's been sitting in that 5th round for 5 months now. People are very confident that maybe the 3rd best receiver in Green Bay is going to overtake everyone, and they're not going to rotate the shit out of him. It's incredibly, I don't want to say naive, but very like, oh, man, I don't want any part of that. None. We have gone Montgomery with our 2nd pick with Stevenson. I'm going to lean into either Najee Harris or Jameson Williams here. One of those 2 is going to fall. That's what we're going to do. There goes Jameson Williams. We're going to grab our 3rd running back. We're going to go Najee Harris. That's what we're going to do. We can stay away from running back for a while. Yeah, I have zero faith in McLaurin. And to see him go that early, like if you told me you were going to get McLaurin with his production in the 8th and 9th round, I'm all for it. Go nuts. Really, have at it. Have all the exposure. But to see him go on the 4th round, 5th round, for what? Like, why? Yeah, I can't even justify it. It's madness. I'm trying to see, where's this board? Let's see who else went in that same area. Hollywood Brown, George Pickens, T. Higgins, Christian Kirk, Keenan Allen, Chris Godwin. Like, at that point, do something different. Oh, my God. No thanks. Before I get amped up anymore, as always, please head over to our Discord. Going for two Discord. It's free. Join that. We've got our Scott Fishbowl, our annual Scott Fishbowl strategy event. It's on at 9 o'clock in our Discord. Jeff Lambert runs it every year. It's a fantastic gimmick. If you're in the Scott Fishbowl, that is. But, if you want to learn general practices about drafting, it's a pretty good thing to have anyway. Obviously, redraft season's coming up. I know it's a little bit different with third-round reversals and premiums and scorings and whatnot, but it's also a good idea to get yourself checked in and see when and where these guys are going, because over the next couple of months, if people start to filter into more casual leagues, it's probably a good idea to get yourself a leg up and know what people are doing in their draft rooms as well. Mock rooms, I don't. This is my mock drafts here. The underdog best balls. This is what I do. I don't do anything else, but it's probably a good idea to get yourself into some of these things. Get yourself into a few best ball leagues. People put money on the line; they have to take it serious, right? So then again, head over to underdogfantasy.com, promo code GF2, 100% matching deposit up to $100, and you can get yourself involved in a couple of drafts in there, and obviously make some money. Get in the puppy, get in the best ball mania, get in all those sorts of things. Where are we at now? Nothing really surprising that's come up in here. Christian Watson going in the 7th round. That's another one that started to happen lately. Last week I saw him go in the 6th. I thought that was aggressive. Khalil Shakir in the 9th is aggressive, but you can see that run. A lot of these teams that have gone 0 RB, you can see them starting to funnel into these running backs now. You can see that there. Harris, Javonte Williams, Jalen Warren. I can't say his name. Jalen Warren going that close to Najee Harris will forever fuck with my mind. I don't understand that happening either. I went over that last week. I'm not going to touch on that again. But Zamir White there in the 8th round. I've seen him go a little bit earlier. Moss is in there too. He's been getting a bit of a rub this week as well. And again, that flux of tight end stops after David and Njoku. Jake Ferguson going in the 7th round is a little rich too, and he's now jumped Brock Bowers. So there's a lot going on there. And you've got a bunch of would-be receivers in there. Look at that. You've got Rice, who could be anything. Keon Coleman, who could be anything. Jigba, who could be anything, with Johnson and Watson. There's a whole bunch of that going on in there. There's a whole bunch of, geez, we better take a receiver. Take our 5th in there. We were told to take our 5th before the 8th round. We better do it quick. Better do it. I'm not sure I understand this. You should have a B-League nickname section. I don't know what that means. But I am on the clock, Kyle, and I do need to make a pick. So we're going to pick our 5th receiver in here. We've gone Garrett Wilson before. Let's go grab Mike Williams. Let's do something weird. Let's go. Let's stack up on Jets players. Let's get wild. Let's get weird. Aaron Rodgers. Let's do that. Not much else going on there. Couple of decent stacks. We'll see what we got going on. Oh, Terry McLaurin. Oh, you mean you want me to start making nicknames up? Yeah, I mean, he's a mid-round receiver that you're taking in the 4th round. It's madness. Whatever. Probably going to lose Jamie now for the next month. Apologies, mate. Oh, no, it's okay. We've taken enough running backs. I don't want to touch any for a while here, but if Romeo Dubs is there, Rashid Shaheed. I was doing this a week ago. Rashid Shaheed's floating into that 9th round, which is kind of crazy. But hey, I don't mind getting weird. So let's take a receiver. Let's take either Dubs or Shaheed. Let's get involved with that. Well, there's Jacoby Myers. I didn't have to reach for him in the 4th round. Oh, my God. Look at that. Let's go Dubs. Let's do that. Let's get some Green Bay going. Let's do that. Go Pack, go. I still have Dubs as their number 1 receiver during the year, so that's where I'm at. So make your mind up whether I'm full of shit or not, because I just said I'm taking Dubs over Watson and Reed. And I'm just going to lose every viewer that I've had. Thanks for coming. Trey Benson going in the 10th round. That's a lot of hope there. Pollard now going after Spears. That's different. And there you go. A run of quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Jordan Love. I understand the appeal of Daniels as well. I don't want that to get lost in the frustration of McLaurin. I understand the appeal of the mobile quarterback that can make bomb plays. I understand all of that. That's cool. Great. go chase Jaden Daniels in the 9th round. I'll go grab Daniel Jones, who's probably going to have a similar season in the 18th. But he can rush. Of course he can rush. They can all rush. Where did I draft Garrett Wilson? I took him, I think, the 110, Jamie. It was either him or A.J. Brown. I've got a lot of A.J. Brown this year. I don't know what you guys think about Brown and Wilson. I don't know where you guys stand on that. It's an interesting conversation, I think. A.J. Brown went on a tear last year too. It wasn't a game. He went like 8-9 games with 100 yards straight or something stupid. And then the Eagles collapsed, which was kind of wild. But I don't know how I feel about either of them. I've got a lot of A.J. Brown. It seems, I think I end up getting like the 108. And at that point, I'm making the decision between like Nakua and Brown. And I don't really think I've had to make that decision between Brown and Garrett Wilson a whole bunch. But it's such a weird spot to draft from because you're sitting there going, well, maybe I'll take Marvin. I don't think I'd want to take Marvin Harrison that early. And yet that's where he's going. Oh, America scored. How about that? 1-0. Good for them. I've seen that Bolivia's only won one game in like 30 years at the Copa America. So, it's good that America got off to a flying start. I do like Fowler and Balogun. I do like him, the Arsenal boy. He's a good player. So that's where I drafted Garrett Wilson. I think the 110 there, Jamie. And I'm pretty sure the guy the person after me would have taken him then, but I am indifferent. But, whatever. Let's get a Jet stack. Let's get weird. Who do the Jets have in that playoff run? I would love to know. I have that somewhere. I'll put that all in the Discord. Where are we? BestBall playoffs. Let's have a look. I'm going to get to that in a minute because if you think there's a difference between Garrett Wilson and Terry McLaurin, then there we go. We've got a bit of a run back there with the Jets in week 17. So Jets-Bills week 17. How about that? There we go. I shouldn't have clicked on that. I should have read it first. I've done it again. Why would you draft Garrett Wilson at the 110, but Alton McLaurin 5 rounds later if they both score the same points per game? All right. So Wilson with all his faults and McLaurin at his peak. That's what you're talking about here. I will take Wilson playing this way with that. McLaurin, he can't do any better. That's it. What you're getting from him is that. So if it's 12.5 points per game that you want, that's fine. Garrett Wilson giving me 12.5 points per game, I feel like that's going to be up. My projections for him would be, I have him going, Kyle's going to get a kick out of this. I actually did projections this year, which is embarrassing. Portugal winning the group. I forgot that Kyle thinks he's Portuguese. Jamie thinks he's Canadian. What's wrong with you guys? I'm on the clock in a minute. Oh, I should be looking at this. This is the wrong time. I have, where are we at? I have Garrett Wilson as where are we? Wide receiver 9 for the year. Yeah, how are you supporting Portugal but then Canada? Actually making the Copa of Canada all right. I want to say that there's a fairly big discrepancy between Mike White and Zach Wilson compared to Sam Howell. I will take that. I will take the Pepsi challenge on that. There is a very big discrepancy on that. Mike White. Who's the guy? Trevor Siemian? Really? That's the legs you're standing on here. You can't say Wilson has quarterback faults without saying McLaurin has the same. They had a run of at least these quarterbacks in the same spot. I just auto-drafted Aaron Rodgers. Oh, shit. I got to stop looking at this. Yeah, Trevor Siemian. That's what we're going with. Trevor Siemian and Mike White over Sam Howell. Get out of here. Stop that. I can't believe I just auto-drafted a quarterback. Ah, crap. Why did I do that for? What am I doing? Where is my team? I've lost everything. We're going to look for Watson. We're going to look for maybe a Drake May. Where's Watson going now? We're not going to get Watson. There's going to be Cousins. Stafford's in there too. I'm not going to reach for any of these guys. Let's move on. I could have, but we're not. I'm happy for your soccer teams, Kyle. That's really cool. Canada were doing all right against Argentina as well. They were holding their own. And as someone who watched his country get pumped by Argentina in the second round of the World Cup last year, we only lost 2-1, I think. Dotson, Downs, Leggett, Hawkinson, Dowdle. Not a whole bunch going on here. Darnell Mooney. Let's go Hawkinson. Let's get that done. I don't need another tight end now. Let's get away from that. There we go. I've been to Portugal, Kyle. Beautiful country. Beautiful place. What did we say? We were at Villa Moura. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool place. Out there where the surfing pro is. We went out there. Where the World Surfing League has their tournaments out in Portugal. We were down there for about a week. Pretty cool place. I'm actually rooting for the Canadian men since they're really... Yeah, the women's soccer team in Canada have been... I forget the name of their striker, but she's like some record. She was head-to-head with Abby Wambach, right? They were like smashing it for a while. I forget what her name was. She was at the last World Cup in Australia too. It was last year. It was pretty cool. Did quite well. Mike White and Trevor Simeon. I can't believe I mentioned their names on the show. That's where I'm at today. Being born in Portugal is pretty cool. Senra. Maybe. I could see it. How are we going so far? A bit of dead air there. Sorry for the apologies. Look at that. So we're looking at a few different things coming in. So last time I spoke to you about where people are going. So it looks a little weird. That 10th round, bit of running back central. I feel like that's great value for Gus Edwards there in the 10th. Chase Brown going after Moss is a bit risky. Singletary is whatever. 10th round, you've got a running back. Very good. He's there. He's going to get you 9 points a game. Not much else. Adonai Mitchell, I'm still not sure about. And to see him go 2 rounds before Josh Downs is a little risky as well. I will admit that's interesting. There is some value here in tight end, though. I won't lie to you. You're looking at Dallas Goedert, who could be, he could be being slept on this year. I think Kellen Moore could be doing wonders for him. Schultz is in there, Frymouth, Cole Kmet, TJ Hawkinson. That's a bit of value for those guys that were perennially, maybe not Schultz so much last year. Frymouth was he was the source last year, wasn't he, Pat Frymouth? He was the absolute source. I mean, okay, we could talk about Hawkinson, that's fine, but Frymouth last year was the absolute source for everyone's best ball teams. Oh, he's the guy you got to get. Injury plague season, I understand, but then you got a bunch of rookies coming in there with Polk, Pearsall, Leggett. Interesting. Gabe Davis in the 12th round, I feel like is good value too. Although that is on the turn, so that could be a late 11. I like Ty Chandler there in the 13th. What good running backs this guy has at the moment, Code Blue, that you see the first team. You've got the 11th, 12th, and 13th round, and has started with Achan and Connor. That 11th, 12th, 13th, Jerome Ford, Rico Dowdle, Ty Chandler. That speaks to me. That's a very good backup running back room with a lot of potential there. Dowdle and Ford could take over. Chandler could take over. There's a lot of good potential in that running back room. How's ours going so far? I can't really see mine. Here we go. Rogers, we got at quarterback with Ramondre, Montgomery, and Harris. We're looking at Garrett Wilson, Deebo Samuel, Amari Cooper, Xavier Worthy, Mike Williams, Romeo Doubs, Andrews, and Hawkinson. No more tight ends for us. We've got 1, 3, 6, 2, so we need to fill up those running backs, quarterbacks, and receivers, as it were. But we're out. We are now out on tight end. We're going to run with a 2, and that's it. And it's always upside backup running backs. Christine St. Clair, that's the one. Thank you, Kyle. Northern Portugal. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, wouldn't mind going back. I did lose a lot of money there once, though. That's a fun story. I'll tell you about that one day. I might have actually told you about that before, but I did lose. Lost about $7.5 grand in one night. Bad, Dan. Either way, we are going to be on the clock very, very soon, and we are looking at what we have available, and these guys have all fallen back to us. There's been a lot of reaching for these backup running backs, as it were. We need to fill that room up. Ray Davis, Kamani Vidal. I've already got Ramondre Stevenson. I don't want to lean into Gibson, but I do need that quarterback. And I do want to stack in with Cooper. So we're going to do that. We're going to go grab Watson. We might grab Tillman in the last round. We're up next. And then I can grab one of these backup running backs after that. That being said, I don't think anyone is going to jump on quarterback after this. And if they are, then so be it. Let's grab Ray Davis. Let's see what that Jets-Bills stack's going to get like a little bit later. I don't hate it. Yeah, Christine St. Clair, she was going there for a while. She must be, 20 years as a pro? Decent. So we're going to run with Watson next. And the way my wide receiver room looks, Hawkinson's with Minnesota, maybe McCarthy. I don't want to do it, but it could be done. Oof. I don't think I can. Maybe I'll go pick up Matt Stafford's backup, like his wife did. Let's not talk about that. Matt Stafford's still on the clock. No, he just went. We're going to take Deshaun Watson with our next pick. Thanks very much. Do like what the Browns have available. Their playoff run looks pretty cool too. Very cool with that. They've got a lot of good high-scoring point games in there as well. So I was talking about where I had McLaurin there in my rankings. I'll get there to in a minute. But yeah, where are we? Week 17. I shouldn't have used yellow to highlight with. What were you doing, man? Dolphins week 17. How about that? What a great game to have. Maybe some Odell Beckham in the last round, give or take. That could get weird. I'm not on the clock. Raymond Wilson's in there. Quentin Johnson going in the 13th round could be anything too. Thank you for joining me on this glorious Sunday afternoon. Rants aside. As always, you can find me at TheBLeague's on Discord. You can find me there in the BestBall channel, and there I'm always willing to help out with any questions that you have. You can tag me in that, and I'll find you in there. As always, you can find us on Twitter, Going for Two Live. It's where you get all your information, updates, and whatnot. Great place to be. YouTube, you can always hit the alerts, find us there, Going for Two Live, hit the subscriptions, all that sort of stuff. As always, underdogfantasy.com, promo code GF2 for 100% matching deposit up to $100 for your initial outlay. And as if you have been watching and paying attention to the tracker down here, join the free Going for Two Discord and hear the annual Scott Fishball strategy event that we have. It's going on at 9 o'clock tonight. Jeff Lambert is running it. He's been doing this the last few years. Got some pretty cool speakers in there as well, talking strategy. Where's my girl Gladys? I think she's up as well. Listen to Gladys talk. That's all you got to do. Just go and listen. She's never wrong. I don't think she's wrong. No. She's always right. Listen to Gladys. She'll be at the Scott Fishbowl event. Go listen to her for an hour. That's all you got to do. There's another one, Rashad Bateman. Oh, my God. We're not doing this again. We are not doing the Rashad Bateman thing again. I refuse. Got to chase that 3 for 33 after we get that 4 for 52. That's what we got to get. This actually looks like a decent game here. America and Bolivia. This actually looks like a bit of fun. Where are we up to next? Let's just make Jamie mad and take Roshan Johnson. Let's do that. I get that McCarthy stack. Sam Darnold. What do we think of this Sam Darnold thing? Is Sam Darnold really starting over JJ McCarthy? Is that what we're doing here? Is that really happening? I don't think I can do it. Drake May, Daniel Jones, Gardner Minshew, some of these guys. Bo Nix. Plenty of quarterbacks. We don't have to reach for any of them here. I find it very hard. See, I'm watching my phone as we go. I find it very hard to watch my phone and look at the screen and answer questions and do a draft. My mind is breaking at this point. Staying away from tight ends. All I want to do is draft Tyler Conklin right now and get another Jets player. That's all I want to do. Don't do it, Dan. Don't do it. You know, we need another receiver. Let's go get Michael Wilson. Let's do something. I went on about this last week between Michael Wilson and Zay Jones. I went with Zay Jones because we were talking about taking older players, and we drafted Zay Jones because he was older than Michael Wilson. That's exactly what I did last week. That was my theory. He's older than him, so I'm taking him. There's a whole lot of hope in that wide receiver room, right? Like you're going to see, Michael Wilson, and then you're going to see like Greg Dortchlove, and then it's like I've been leaning on Zay Jones because the guy's like a target machine. I feel like that's what he was brought in for, to help out Harrison and take some heat off him and McGrath. I just thought that was it. How sold I am on Michael Wilson, I don't know. Let's leave this one. This is the first time you've been right, Carl. Gladys is typically always right. There we go. What's wrong with that? And as it is, let's see if we can get weird here. What do we got? I really don't want to reach for anyone. I really think I'm trying to stay away from all these bad guys. I got Hawkinson. Let's go get McCarthy, and we'll go add Brandon Powell. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go add Brandon Powell. That depth chart in Minnesota is absolute dog shit as well. Brandon Powell's their third receiver. I couldn't tell you who their third running back is. And I think they have Josh Oliver there at tight end behind Hawkinson. They don't have much going on for them. Pretty scary, really. Yeah, I'm hoping he doesn't. Again, Darnold will start most games, Kyle says, in 2024, but I don't see any way he starts the whole season. Look, Darnold, I don't know. He's fine. Talk about mid quarterbacks with Garrett Wilson, right? There's another one for you. We're going to get him some help. No, it turns out that Darnold's just dog shit. It's just one of those things. I don't know. He's going to keep getting a job, right? So good for him. But there's not much else going on here. There's Beckham out there. Drake May. All these guys that we were looking at. Where are we at? We're in the 17th round yet? We are about to hit the 17th round. I should really look at this. What do I need? Our team so far, we've gone a 3-4-7-2. Rodgers, Watson, McCarthy, we done at quarterback. We don't need to touch that as well. Ramondre Stevenson, David Montgomery, Najee Harris, Ray Davis. Don't hate that at this point. Wilson, Samuel, Cooper, Worthy, Williams, Dubs, Wilson. I don't mind that wide receiver room. I think we can be good there with 2 picks to go. Andrews and Hawkinson. We can wrap up at tight end. So tight end and quarterback we don't need. We can go best player available here at this point. For these last 2 picks, is there anything else that has stood out to me? Not really. Interesting to see people still don't know what to do with Jahmyr Gibbs. Marvin Mims people don't know what to do with either. He's another one. Drake May's going to go here. This guy's going to take. He's just gone. Javon Baker's going to go Drake May. Go on, do it, buddy. Do the right thing. Go on. Thinking about it. What are you thinking about it? You just took Javon Baker. Go do it. Oh, you want Dawson Knox. That's the right thing to do. Well, I don't mind that Browns Dolphins game in week 17. Let's see Odell Beckham in here. That could be cool. Pretty easy. We're going to wrap this up very, very soon. Pretty happy with that. You guys have done great. Thank you for joining me this week. I'm going to do these 2 picks and then bounce. We're going to get on with that pretty quickly. There goes Daniel Jones. Oh no, quick, 7th round. As always, you can find us at the B League, or I am at the B League, so you can find us. I'm getting a phone call while I'm trying to draft and my phone got stuck. How bad's that? If Roshan Johnson's here in the 18th round, I'm going to be all over that. And that makes me incredibly sad because I ate so much of this up in the 10th round. I thought it was a joke. They drafted for Swift. Imagine what would happen if they didn't draft Swift. This guy would be in like the 5th round. They would be all over him. So it's either, oh, there goes Roshan Johnson. Ah, you're killing me. Let's go Damian Pierce or Dylan Lord. Or Foreman. That could be interesting to run back. Let's go Foreman. We got some Browns players in there. Let's do that. Why not? Come on, I just want to get this. I was about to read off. I'm going to do that in a minute. I'm going to make this last pick of Foreman, go over the team, and then wrap it up. We're going to bounce after that. But thank you very much for joining me on a Sunday evening. Come on, man. You're going to take 30 seconds. It took you 12 seconds to figure out you wanted Roshan Johnson. Help me out here. What are we doing, man? 10 seconds. Oh, boy. This is awkward. I feel sorry for people having to listen. I'm going to download this and people are going to watch this as we go. But as it were, as always, going for too live. We're just taking Dante Foreman. There we go. Thanks for coming. Our team so far, look at that. 3 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 8 receivers, 2 tight ends. Rogers, Watson, McCarthy. We've got some good stacks in there with them. We've got Stevenson, Montgomery, Harris, Davis, and Foreman at running back. Garrett Wilson, Deebo Samuel, Amari Cooper, Xavier Worthy, Mike Williams, Romeo Dubs, Michael Wilson, and Odell Beckham Jr. with Mark Andrews and TJ Hawkinson. Not a bad little team there. Projection of 2,900 or 29, 48, 30. There you go, 29, 48, 30. Not bad from the pick 10. I will take that to the bank. Some good stacks in there with Rogers. We've got him in there with Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams. We've got Deshaun Watson in there with a nice run back. Aaron Rodgers is a run back with the Bills week 17. So we've got in there Ray Davis as well. Obviously, a couple Dolphins plays with the Browns and JJ McCarthy with Hawkinson. I don't hate that too much. Just to wrap it up as it is, please. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code GF2 for 100% matching deposit up to $100 on your initial deposit. Come join me. $5 for the puppy tournaments, $25 for the BestBall Manias. So much fun. Just JJ, and JJ. I was losing my mind, mate. I'm not going to lie to you. I was struggling there, Kyle. I think you saw that in me. A+ show for the B League. Yeah, it's just a nice show. You can also find us over at Discord. Please join us there. It's a free Discord. Join us over there, going for 2, as it were. Going for the Discord and hear the annual Scott Fishbowl strategy event at 9 o'clock tonight. It's kicking off in about 2 hours' time, 2.5 hours' time. Find Jeff Lambert on Twitter, Jeff Lambert at Jeff Lambert 77 for more details. We've got guest speakers talking strategy for the upcoming Scott Fishbowl drafts. I hope everyone gets involved and talks about that as much as possible. Catch our very own Gladys and Gator J in there too, and a bunch of whole others as well. Some of the going for his best in there as well. Some other people as well. Who knows? Who knows who's going to pop up? As always, find us over on Twitter if you want. We're all over there, but the Discord's the big one. Come join us over there, have some fun, talk some strategy, do all that sort of thing as well. And have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me. Cheers. Thanks very much.